My name is Molly Parris, and my project's on arsenic. And today we will talk about what is arsenic, the allotropic forms of arsenic, where could arsenic be found, the symptoms of acute exposure and chronic exposure of arsenic, the fate of arsenic in the body, the metabolism of arsenic throughout the body, the regulations and environmental standards of arsenic in air, food, and water, the benefits of arsenic, and arsenic trioxide medicine as a cancer treatment. So, what is arsenic? Arsenic is a metal, and there are two forms. There are an inorganic form and an organic form. The inorganic arsenic can be found in the environment and is very toxic and is in the forms of arsenic and arsenite. The organic arsenic form is non-toxic and can be found in seafood. So arsenic is considered a heavy metal, and arsenic can be found everywhere in the environment. And it has three allotropic forms, which is alpha yellow, beta black, and gamma ray. The atomic number of arsenic is 33, the atomic mass is 74, and the melting point is 616 degrees Celsius or 1,141 degrees Fahrenheit. There are three allotropic forms, which is yellow, black, and gray arsenic. Yellow arsenic is the most toxic and unstable forms of the three. It consists of arsenic tetrahedra, and it decomposes readily, especially when exposed to light. Black arsenic is the metastable form, and it has a orthorhombic structure. It is extremely rare and naturally occurring. Here is what an orthorhombic structure looks like. Next, we have gray arsenic, which is the most stable form of arsenic, and it has a brittle crystalline solid structure, and it decomposes rapidly in the air and at high temperatures. So, arsenic can be found everywhere, but is mostly commonly found in the groundwater, and the largest source of arsenic poisoning worldwide is from groundwater. So, arsenic can also be found in the soils due from agriculture runoff and buildup of pesticides that used to contain arsenic, but they do not now due to environmental regulations. Arsenic is also found in our foods, but this is the organic form, so it is the non-toxic form, and it is found in seafood such as our bivalves, which is our mollusks and clams, crustaceans, which is our lobsters and crabs, and seaweed and kelp. So arsenic is also found in industrial plants, and the burning of fossil fuels, glass manufacturing operations, and pesticide manufacturing facilities all contribute to arsenic in the air. Now, along with groundwater, soil, food, and industrial plants, arsenic can also be found in some medicinal drugs. Some medicinal drugs that are currently being used for induction and consolidation chemotherapy for acute promyelocytic leukemia and other cancers. So, some symptoms of acute arsenic poisoning, which is a high dose in a short amount of time, and symptoms can show within 30 to 60 minutes. Some symptoms can include a headache, severe diarrhea, vomiting, which will sometimes include blood but not all the time, abdominal pain, and metal or a garlic taste. Some symptoms of chronic arsenic poisoning, which is a small dose in a long period of time, which symptoms can take up to 8 weeks to present themselves, include partial paralysis, numbness in hands and feet, blindness, seizures, corns, which is an uncomfortable thickening skin lesions, which can be seen in the lower right-hand corner picture, and also skin discoloration and thickening. So, arsenic can be found in the body, and it is mainly inhaled or ingested. So the majority is ingested, and about 95 of the ingested dose is absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract. The inhalation of arsenic is usually found in the workplace and is in the form of arsenic trioxide. And the amount absorbed is approximately 60% to 90%, but research is still going on as there's not much um, there's not much arsenic in the air to be inhaled as it is ingested. So the distribution of arsenic is widely distributed by the blood throughout the body, and it takes 2 to 4 weeks after exposure that most of the arsenic that remains in the body is in the hair and nails and skin, while everything else is excreted. Most of arsenic is not kept into the tissues or blood stream. So this is a figure from a review article about the metabolism of arsenic. The beginning 3 circles show how us humans are exposed to arsenic, which is through drinking water, food, drugs, natural deposits of soil, or agriculture, mining, and coal burning. So as we absorb the arsenic, our cells metabolize them, and we will either excrete it or accumulate it, which is either accumulated in our skin, hair, and nails. And we could have a toxicity effect, which can either be non-carcinogenic, which will lead to cardiovascular and non-cardiovascular effects, or it could lead to carcinogenic effects, which will cause chromosomal abnormalities, modification of cell proliferation, aberrations in gene expression, altered DNA repair, and oxidative stress. So some environmental standards and regulations. As for air, there is no pollution limit for arsenic, but yet is still closely monitored because due to the effects in the increase of mortality and serious illness of significant exposure that arsenic could have. The EPA has listed arsenic under the Clean Air Act as a hazardous air pollutant. In 1986, the EPA published the National Emissions Standards for Hazardous Air Pollutants for these sources known to emit inorganic arsenic, which is arsenic plants, glass manufacturing plants, primary copper smelters. Environmental standard regulations set for food is mainly used by the FDA. Arsenic is used in some veterinary drugs, including those used to treat animals used for commercial food and products. The FDA has established a level of inorganic arsenic tolerance ranging from 0.5 parts per million in eggs and uncooked edible tissues of poultry to 2 parts per million in certain uncooked swine byproducts, which is all inorganic levels that we tolerate. The inorganic forms of arsenic found in our food are found in shellfish and are considered to be non-toxic and are typically excreted in urine within 48 hours of ingestion. The environmental standards regulations of the environmental standards regulations of drinking water is closely monitored due to the drinking water being the largest source of arsenic poisoning worldwide. The EPA has set 10 parts per billion as the maximum containment level of arsenic in drinking water, which the World Health Organization also recommends a provisional drinking water guideline of 10 parts per billion, which is both the same as 10 micrograms per liter. This map shows estimates of how many private domestic well users in each county may be drinking water with high levels of arsenic. An estimated 2.1 million people throughout the U.S. may be drinking domestic well water high in arsenic. As you can see down here, Tift County is shown here on the map to estimate 500 to 5,000 micrograms per liter of arsenic in private domestic wells used for drinking water. I just thought this was a cool demographic, pretty cool fact to see that it is widely ranged and widely spread out throughout the U.S. and that our county is an abundance of arsenic in our domestic wells. So, onto the benefits of arsenic. Arsenic trioxide is the main drug to be used as an anti-cancer agent and has been used in traditional Chinese medicine for many years. Arsenic trioxide exerts therapeutic mechanisms through a multitude of biochemical events, including cell cycle modulation and apoptosis in leukemia cells. So, arsenic trioxide is used to create acute promyeloid leukemia that has a certain chromosome abnormality or a fusion in this gene. Arsenic trioxide will damage a fusion protein made by this fusion gene. This may cause cancer cells from growing and help kill them. So, arsenic trioxide with apoptosis, the active gene, which is an active gene-directed form of cell death. It is characterized by cellular and nuclear shrinking and budding, blebbing, chromatin condensation. So in this diagram to the right, it shows the formation of apoptosis. So in step 1, arsenic trioxide is eliminating the unweighted cell and programming it to cell death, which causes the cell to shrink, which is step 2. As the cell shrinks, the nuclear fragmentation occurs, which is step 3, which forms apotopic bodies, and then in step 5, the apotopic bodies will then be killed off by phagocytosis. Arsenic trioxide not only induces apoptosis in leukemia cells, but also in solid tumors. Arsenic trioxide is found to be genotoxic, and genotoxicity refers to the ability of new chemical compound to cause alterations at the genetic level. Arsenic trioxide is found to be genotoxic in human cells such as keratinocytes, melanocytes, and leukemia cells. It is known to inhibit DNA repair, induce chromosomal aberrations, sister chromatid exchanges, and micronuclear formation in mammal cells. Thank you, and hope you learned a lot about arsenic.